Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Like and subscribe.
Welcome to the Sit, Walk, Work podcast. My name is Dominic, and before we dive into today's episode, let's take a moment together to arrive here, right now. Wherever you are, whether you're sitting, standing, or even walking, just notice that you're here. Feel your body in this moment. Take one conscious breath with me. And then one more. This simple act, pausing to notice you're here, is the foundation of everything we will explore together in this podcast. Today, we're starting with the first pillar of our practice, the art of sitting. If you're new here for the first time, know that this episode is for you. We're going to explore the first of our three pillars, sitting, which is really about learning to be present with whatever is happening right now. Now, you might be thinking, well, Dom, I already know how to sit. I've kind of been doing that my whole life. And look, I'm not here to argue. You're absolutely right. You have. But there is a big difference, a huge difference, a wildly different experience between sitting and conscious sitting, between occupying a chair and using that position as a doorway into your deeper awareness. The art of sitting isn't about achieving some special state or emptying your mind. It's about developing a friendly relationship with your own attention. It's about learning to notice what's actually happening in this moment without immediately trying to fix it, change it, or escape from it because you think you need to. In our busy world, we're constantly on the move, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Always on our way to the next thing, solving the next problem, checking the next item off the endless to-do list. Sitting gives us a chance to pause this momentum and ask, what is actually going on right now? Like, what is happening? When I first started to practice meditation years ago, I was under the same belief that a lot of us are under, that it was about being calm, peaceful, and my favorite as a teacher, stopping all thoughts from rolling in. What I discovered instead was that sitting taught me how to be present with everything that was already here. Sometimes that meant it was calm and peaceful, and sometimes it was wild and restless, happy, anxious. You get the point. Whatever was there, I was good either way. And the magic wasn't even about the control I thought I needed for each of my experiences, but it really was learning to meet all of that with just awareness, a balanced awareness. And this is why we start with sitting, not because it's easy. In fact, it is actually one of the most challenging things you're probably going to do today. We start here because it's foundational, and good foundations is how we become experts at anything. Everything else we're going to explore, the walking practices, the work applications, they all come from this very basic skill of conscious presence. I like to think of it this way. If awareness is like sunlight, then sitting practice is like learning to open the blinds. The light's always there, but you got to know how to let it in. Before we jump into this practice, I really want to address what meditation actually is not. So I alluded to this a minute ago. It isn't about stopping your thoughts. Your mind is designed to think. That's what it's for. That's what it does. So trying to stop thoughts is like trying to stop your heart from beating. Instead, we're learning to notice thoughts without getting completely swept away by them, without being engrossed in them, without feeling that they are actually who we are. It's also not about feeling relaxed or blissful. Sometimes sitting brings up difficult emotions, restless energy, stuff we haven't touched, stuff that's been buried down, waiting for an opportunity to be acknowledged. This isn't a sign that you're doing it wrong. It's actually a sign you're doing it right because you're paying attention to what's here and there and coming up within you. And you're giving space and room for those things to express themselves. And it's certainly not about sitting perfectly still in some special posture. And while I am a tenet of foundations, I try not to lose what matters. Posture matters, but you being present matters more. You being alert and comfortable, engaged in your practice matters more. So, practice where you can get it, in a chair, on a cushion, standing up against the wall, lying down or seated. It's not about a mystical experience. Yes, mystical experiences happen when you meditate. Just like anything else, when done over a long period of time, there are always extreme examples of what's capable. But that is not the typical day-to-day application. The most profound thing that actually happens is that you simply notice what's already here. You process the day better, more in tuned, more connected. The feeling of breathing, the sounds around you, the sensation of actually being alive right now. And so here's how I want you to consider approaching your sitting practice. And I like to call it the 3 A's: arrive, attend, and allow. So we'll start with arrival. So to arrive, what does it mean? It means setting and settling into your chosen position, acknowledging that you're here to practice. It's the trigger that says, hey, I'm here to do the work. Attend. This means choosing something to pay attention to. Often the breath, but it could be sounds, the feeling of your body. It could really be anything, the thoughts themselves. And it's not about intensity, but it's about anchoring, right? Anchoring to where you've told your attention to be present for this part of practice. And then allow. Look, you live in a world where you have expectations placed on you, regardless of what you're doing. Allow means that we're going to let whatever happens. Like, it's just going to happen. We're not going to try to control this outcome. You've been controlled. You're going to sit, and if your mind wanders, okay, that's what it's doing right now. If you feel restless, okay. Peaceful, that's cool. We're not trying to manufacture a particular experience. Like, we're hands off for the practice. Think of your attention like a friendly dog on a walk. Sometimes it's going to wander off the path to investigate something it finds interesting. You don't yell at the dog, though. You just ask it to nicely come back. Like, here, attention, let's go this way instead. So it's very similar. And the practice is simple. Sit, choose your focus, and when you notice your mind has wandered to something it finds more interesting, well, come back. And that moment of noticing, I was thinking about lunch. That's not a mistake. That's the practice. That's awareness waking up. That's you becoming conscious of the awareness that has always been there. You'll do this hundreds, thousands of times in a session. Each time you notice and return, your capacity gets larger. Your ability to be present gets deeper. It's like doing a bicep curl for your awareness. And so I'd like for us to get into a little bit of a starter practice. So if you're driving or you're in a situation where you can't actually close your eyes, then You can practice this with your eyes open, softening your gaze, or my favorite is to wait till you're in a place where you can give it your full attention. Because to be honest, like if you're doing other things while you're meditating, that's kind of defeating the point in my in my mind. But hey, you do you. Be safe either way. First things first, I want you to go ahead and get comfortable. Find a comfortable position. That could be seated. Like I said, it could be slightly lying down. But I really want you to be able to take a good breath in. And I want you to be able to be alert so that your attention can stay where you need it to be. Take your hands, place them somewhere comfortably where they won't be agitated or distracted. And again, if the situation allows and you feel safe, then now is the time I'd invite you to close your eyes. And let's arrive together, acknowledging and noticing that you've chosen to be here. You've made space in your day for this practice. Acknowledge yourself with a bit of gratitude and reverence for showing up for yourself. We'll begin to attend to the breath. The goal here isn't for you to actually do anything to change your breath, but I want you to notice where you feel it. Where you feel it naturally moving in and out of your body. Following it from its point of origin all the way down and into the body till the cycle kind of completes with the exhale on the back end of it. Feel the sensation of breathing. Maybe the coolness of air coming in through your nostrils and the warmth as you exhale. The dance of rising and falling in the chest or the belly as the breath comes and the breath goes. There's literally no perfect or wrong way to do this. If your mind slips away and gets distracted by your to-do list or whether or not you're doing the practice right, that's okay. It's normal. Simply notice where it went and bring it back to the experience of you breathing. If you begin to feel slightly restless or uncomfortable, know that that's also just information too. Doesn't signify a problem of any sort. Can you allow that feeling to simply be there while you continue to breathe in and through it? Some breaths will feel clear and obvious, while others might fade into the background as your mind shifts and sways and moves, and both are okay. Just this, breathing in, breathing out, being here. If you've lost track of your breath completely and maybe you're lost in thought, welcome back. That moment of noticing is pure awareness. Gently return to your breathing. Nothing to fix, nothing to achieve, nothing to prove. Just this breath, this moment, this aliveness. As we begin to wrap up this practice, take a moment to have another conscious breath together. And gently open your eyes if they were closed. Your practice for this week is wickedly simple. I want you to sit for 5 minutes a day using what we just practiced together. Refer back to this episode as guidance, or pick any of the other episodes I have here on the podcast that you can use just as a template, really, to go through this 5-minute sit per day. Here's the ask. Choose the same time each day. Maybe first thing in the morning or right when you get home from work, but your consistency is really what I'm trying to get. And consistency is bred from doing things at the same time, in the same place. And if 5 minutes feels like it's too long, then break it down to 3. I want you to make this so easy that you cannot fail. If you miss a day, though, just begin again the next day. Just like returning your attention back to the breath, we start over here. Remember, this is not about being good at meditation. It's about getting to know your own attention. And while you're doing the practice, consider noticing, how does your mind move? What really pulls at your attention to take it away from the breath? What is it like when you return back to the breath? What other feelings or sensations are conjured from this? These are the observations that are more valuable than any calm state or sense of focus. Those things will come on their own. Learn to love the process, appreciate the results. Don't become attached to the results, and this will go much, much smoother for you. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for sitting with me today. You just took a big step in developing what I call the art of paying attention. Next time, we're going to explore the second pillar, which is our walking practice, and discover how movement is also a doorway into presence. Look, if you found value in today's episode, you know I'd love to hear about your experience. Obviously, here on Substack, where you can comment on this post or any other post and interact with me. And feel free to use any of the additional resources that are available here, where our community gathers to support each other's practice. So until we sit again, may your attention be a gift to yourself and to the world around you.
That's the beauty of it.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I invite you to check out my Substack, where we are building a community of like-minded individuals to discuss all topics related to the idea of paying attention. I hope to see you there. But until then, with metta may you be well.
Like and subscribe.